Before I even get started, Michael Carrillo has promised to play us out. So instead of our original outro song, he's going to play his original music. And I'm thinking of making a special request. Hopefully, he grants it. Hey, welcome back to Too Hard, Too Fast, the podcast with strong opinions about things that we may or may not know too much about in order to broaden perspectives. Today, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have a special guest because this is our first musician on Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. Michael Carrillo, a.k.a. MikeyVibe, a.k.a. Dear Vibes, because we're going to learn about, you have a band, correct, called Dear Vibes?
Dear Vibes, that's right, yeah.
We're going to get into it, and I want to know why the vibes, man. I'm feeling the vibes. Are you feeling the vibes? I think it's just the alcohol. We started pre-gaming.
I think so, too.
We're going to go too hard, too fast.
Too
so
fast.
sit back.
Hell yeah.
But with that said, sit back, buckle up. Let's go. Too hard, too fast. Boom.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Too hard, too fast.
Welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast.
Welcome back to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.
Viva Mexico.
The podcast of the century.
Right.
First thing we want to know, what are you drinking, Mike?
You drinking, Mike?
Well, I wanted to stick with something that I like. I mean, I asked some people what I should bring on, but I didn't really think anybody's ideas were too good.
What were some of the ideas they had, though, if you don't mind sharing?
I mean, some of them, there's
stupid ideas, I guess.
The stupid ideas. Well, I don't want to say anything bad about any of the beers.
Not good, bro.
Hey, this is the beauty about the podcast. This is what we can do.
Yeah.
You just blame it on going too hard, too fast.
Yeah. Just say you were drunk.
Well, one of the beers that I did want to bring on or try from the breweries, but I've only been there a couple of times. They're from called Back Unturned Brewery. They're on Brooklyn and Avenue B, where my bar is/was or whatever. They have pizza and they started brewing their own beer there, and they're fairly new. So they're a pretty cool local company, you know. And the last time I went in there, they had a couple of different good beers and good pizza too. There, so it seems pretty like it's one of the things that I wanted to try, but I didn't get my hands on it within the week. In fact, I hadn't even checked into like if they have it at like HEB. I don't think they do. I think it's still just at the brewery, at their location there. So I went with a classic in my mind, Real Ale Brewery, because that's just really good. I like Fireman's 4. It's a blonde ale.
Right.
Yeah, it's 5.1%. But I got a big one so we could drink it throughout the show. Got some whiskey here too, so we can loosen up a little bit, you know.
Perfect.
Nice.
Where's Fireman's 4 from? Is that local to Texas?
Real Ale is Texas, yeah. It's
Real Ale, that's right.
yeah, Real Ale. Blanco, Texas.
Blanco, Texas. So you wanted to stay local to San Antonio and just completely went on the highways. No, I'm just kidding. What was the name of that brewery? Back Unturned?
Back Unturned, yeah.
I'm going to have to check it out. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's fairly new. It's fairly new, but they're pretty cool. And I figured, you know, good cross promotion for as things go on. Hopefully we get our business back open and kind of we'll be sharing that neighborly love between everybody that's kind of coming up around that area.
Yeah, for sure. And we were going to talk about your bar as we go further.
Yeah, we can talk about that later, but I just wanted to do that with the beer at least, you know.
No, you're good. You went too hard, too fast. That's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's rate that beer, the Fireman's 4, using from 1.0 to 2, using decimals. What would you rate it? Obviously, 2 being the best because it's like that too hard, too fast beer. Oh, sorry, and I should tell you, it's based on the label, the alcohol content versus the price, and the taste.
Yeah, and would you drink a 6-pack of it, at least?
All right. Well, yeah, I could definitely drink a 6-pack of this. I like the art. I mean, it's simple. You know, it's simple.
I like it too.
But the the taste has definitely got me. I would say like a 1.8. It's one of those. It's like I kind of said, it's kind of a classic in my mind at this point. Something that I know I can go to and it'll be good. And for the most part, they have it at a lot of the breweries, or a lot of the bars.
Nice. So 1.8. That's good. That's a little high.
Maybe 1.7. No, I don't know. I didn't want to go back down.
No, you're good, man.
You would definitely recommend it, though.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
A 1.8. I'll stick with it. I do. Fireman's 4 was one of the more, I guess for me, when I was introduced to like heavier beers and like stronger beers.
Yeah.
Fireman's 4 was definitely one of the ones that, away stressed. Going off the Bud Light, the Michelob Ultras, like, the typical,
right.
I just turned 21, I can drink legally, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Fireman's 4 was one of my first to, like, venture out into craft beer kind of
thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those, it's just kind of like I don't want to say the word basic, but, it's like it's the standard of craft beer, like, one of the ones that, like, you can just go to, and it's Blanco, Texas, Texas beer, so,
And Real L. The Real L makes a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Worm, what are you drinking?
Well, before I share what I'm drinking, Mike, I just want to make sure I could take off my mask, right? You're healthy?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right, bro, because this virus could transmit in different ways, bro. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
That covers. Be quick, Mike.
I'm staying local to Texas, too. But I'm drinking wine. I was drinking some beer, but right now I'm drinking some wine because I want to go too hard, too fast with Mike. Enjoy some of that music. Llano, I don't know if you guys have boom. So this one, what's the percent?
Say the name again.
Isn't it Llano? No, what is it? How do you say it?
It's Llano.
Llano. Oh, Llano. Yeah, whatever. Llano, Texas. There you go. 11%. It's in Lubbock, so it's close to where I'm at. I don't know if you know, Mike. I live in West Texas, so I'm out here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like it. Price was good. I give it a 1.75.
Dang, what's the price? You didn't even...
it wasn't that bad. $7 for this whole bottle.
$7. Okay.
They have different ones though. This one's a sweet Shannon. Sometimes they have like a dry red or they have a sweet red. So I went like a white wine this time, but it's not bad. So 1.75. Nice. And Mike, I'm gonna try to finish this before the end of our conversation. So.
All right.
What are you drinking, George?
Okay, so I went out because, like you said, Mike posted that he wanted local, and so I was gonna match him local for local, and I just went a little local. I went to Ranger Creek Brewing.
Nice.
I wanted to try out their barrel series, and they didn't have the one I wanted. I wanted the Wee Heavy. It was 11.9% alcohol, but they didn't have it on draft. So I went with it's called the Imperial Brown Ale, and it's a 9-point-something% alcohol.
Which one did you get?
Imperial Brown Ale.
Nice.
It's from the barrel series. It's one of their stronger beers because it's in those barrels. I don't know how that works. I'm not a brewmaster, but so they sell it in a 4-pack. That's the only thing I'm like, a 4-pack. I've talked about how I hate the 4-pack, but it is a stronger beer. I think it's about $12 a 4-pack, or maybe a little less. I could be wrong. Anyway, I got it in a growler.
Nice.
So, definitely gonna try to finish this. It looks like this. It's dark.
Nice.
The taste, it's really good. It's kind of like vanilla-y, caramel-ish. So I'm gonna give it a 1.81. A 1.81.
Nice.
Not bad. Especially because like the growler fill was not that expensive. Like it was a good price. So they have a good deal. 1.81, good beer, Ranger Creek, local to San Antonio.
Nice. That's what's
And
up.
they were friendly. They were like, they let me take pictures throughout the place so I could find like the good one for the Instagrams. But they were real friendly, so I think I would go back for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think no, I could be confused. I think I don't know. There was some event there. I can't remember if I played there or somewhere else before. I'm getting confused. But yeah, that location is pretty cool. It's where's it at? Like 35 and something, right?
30, yeah, almost 35 and 410
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I was driving there, I felt like I've been there before. Like it felt like I'm from the area. Like I've been to a brewery there. I
Yeah.
just couldn't remember if it was that one or what, but it just
Yeah,
felt.
George
something.
drinks too much. That's the problem.
That's probably what it was. You know, I remember going there, just not leaving. Somebody had to take me home afterwards.
Yeah.
Hey, so Mike, what's your favorite drink though? Do you have a favorite drink, favorite beer, or mixed drink or something?
I mean, I like whiskey. That's kind of my go-to liquor, you know.
Oh, nice. Do you have any particular whiskey, or just does it matter as long as it's whiskey?
Yeah. Well, let me see. I don't know. I mean, I know like trying to keep it local, but did y'all have Rebecca Creek as a whiskey last time, or there was some?
Didn't you do a review on that, George?
It was Devil's Run.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
And it's local to San Antonio as well, but I don't want to like cut into like Ranger Creek because they also sell whiskey.
Oh yeah, true, true.
We're not sponsored by either one, so you know what? Unless one of them wants to sponsor us, we're both.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah, but I think just in general, I mean, like you know, right now right now I'm drinking this Redemption Rye. I've never had it before.
Oh, there we go.
It's not from here, but I like rye. You know, when you get your old fashions, it's like bourbon or rye. I usually do the rye. So
who makes it?
It's called Redemption Rye Whiskey. I just like went next door. I'm at my.
You don't
there's a liquor store right next door.
Yeah, there you go.
Wherever you're at, you're a walking distance from a liquor store. That's all that matters.
As long as you could drink at that place, that's all.
Since you're gonna show me yours, I'm gonna show you mine. Not that kind. Chill out.
I know. What the hell's George talking about?
Too hard, too fast.
I know. Too hard, too fast. Hey, I guess until George comes back, I'm just gonna let you know, Mike. I was stalking you a little bit on Instagram, bro. So right after this, I'm gonna mention your first post back in May 27, 2014. You remember that?
No, I don't.
No? All right. We're talking shit, but it's okay.
All right. So, Mike, I want you to do a shot with me.
Nice. All right. Let's do
Worm.
it.
You want to do a shot or what?
Oh, yeah. Let me go get one of those little bottles. Hold up. Hey, Mike, I got this shot glass, man. It reminded me of you, bro. Boom. Right there, bro. The guitar and everything, bro. Boom. Where's your hat, man? That way.
I need to get my hat.
Present, yeah.
The hat looks like a taco now that I saw it.
I'm drinking some tequila right here, so let's do it. Let's take a shot.
All right, cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers to Mike.
To Mike. To MikeyVibe.
Feel the vibes, man. Feel the vibes.
Thank you. Yeah, Worm, you didn't hear. All I have is this winter glass to drink out of. So.
Oh, okay.
It's seasonal.
As long as you have something to drink out of.
Yeah, yeah.
It's perfect. That's perfect.
Hey, better than me, bro. I'm drinking straight out of the wine bottle, bro, like a bomb instead of getting fancy and having a wine glass. But oh well, it's all good. Why waste the time? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I already know I'm gonna finish the bottle. So, all right. I'm saving myself from doing dishes, so I'm saving time. I'm saving water. That's the way I see it. You know what I mean? But
that's a good idea. Why have to waste a dish?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into MikeyVibe story. Before we go into like the early ages, I want to know where the name MikeyVibe is from.
Well, I've been in a handful of bands for the past over 10 years, probably, but I'll just say 10. It sounds more reasonable. But I was in a band with my friends called Through Her Vibe, like you feel somebody's vibe through her vibe. So when I was in that band, that kind of kicked me off on starting writing a lot of my own music. Uh, so just being in that band, we started playing a lot of shows around town, and I had already had experience in booking events and kind of doing that sort of thing. So I guess with Through Her Vibe, people just started calling me Mikey Vibe because of the band. Uh, and yeah, and then so from there, that's when when I started my own thing, that's when I started Dear Vibes. So it's all connecting from one thing to the other.
Nice. Hey, Mike, bro, can I join your band, bro?
Absolutely, absolutely.
No, for reals, can I join? I need some money.
This podcast is going nowhere. I need to join the band.
Yeah, bro. I need to quit this, bro. I need to.
Did you have a background in music, or did you learn by being in the band, or?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like learning stuff, pretty much I just well, I had a friend that kind of taught me, and my family's musical. I mean, my aunts, my uncles, my grandfather, so I kind of just grew up around it a lot. And then I never went to school for music or anything like that. I mean, I've there's like those two types of musicians, those ones that like know music theory and are very smart and know exactly what the hell they're talking about. And then there's me. Yeah,
hey, don't feel bad. And I could be wrong, but this is Too Hard, Too Fast, and we don't check facts. But I think the Beatles, bro, I mean, they became very popular, and I don't think any of them knew how to read music.
Yeah.
None of them knew music theory. They just did their own thing, and so sometimes those are the best people because they don't follow a pattern or whatever the conventional thing is. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like there's some sort of a disconnect. I mean, all musicians have the ability to like write creatively and good and stuff, but I used to feel like, man, I wish I knew more about how to write music and stuff like that. And I mean, I can translate what I need to with the band, because Dear Vibes has a lot of people, like, I mean, we're like a pretty big band, and I write the parts, but it's also half of it, it's just me telling them like, hey, violins, do this, and hey, trumpet, do this, and like, just kind of feeling it and kind of working it out with them. But it's a lot. I mean, it's fun. We have a good time doing it. And then also I think the ability to just be able to like kind of turn off your mind from an educational point, and just being like, this is what I hear, or this is what I feel. Mm-hmm. It helps the music kind of come more naturally that way too, at least for me. I know everybody does it different, but
no, definitely. I mean, by you doing it that way, I mean, people, when they listen to it, they're going to probably feel the same way. You know what I mean? So you're just connecting to the people a lot more. So
yeah,
instead of using logic.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. This is me, and probably the circles around me, like the people around me that listen to the same kind of music. I really am not a big fan of like mainstream stuff, only because a lot of it starts to sound the same.
Yeah.
And somebody explained it once, and I don't know where I saw it, but they were like, all you really need is a certain 3 chords played in a different way.
Oh, yeah. 4 chords, I think. Yeah. The same 4 chords. All these popular songs use the same 4 chords.
Yeah. That's what's like, that's what, like, I'm not smart enough to.
And Mike only uses 2 of those chords. I'm just checking out.
I thought you were going to make a joke on my thing. I was going to say, I'm not smart enough for like, to understand music that way. The best thing I've ever played is Spotify. So I tried playing the guitar once, and it didn't work out. I made a profit on the guitar. That's all I can say.
Hey, there you go.
Right.
Good investment.
Anyway, but when I learned about this, it's like that really, I guess I could say, pissed me off that they sell you this music as something new, a new sound, or whatever, but really it's just the same thing manufactured.
Yeah.
And I don't know if somebody like plays indie music or whatever, starting up, or even you, Mikey Vibe, I don't know. Maybe you're playing the same 4 chords, but I'm saying the way you do it, if you're doing it by how you feel and how it sounds to you versus like the logical educational way, like you're stepping away from that. I think that's more enjoyable for me when I'm listening it as a fan.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're feeling it, I'm feeling it, we're all feeling it, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Dear Vibes.
I went all over the place on that one, but
yeah. Well, when Dear Vibes, we did. When Dear Vibes, when I started Dear Vibes, most of our music was instrumental, kind of for that reason. It was like I don't think I was at the point yet to lyrically try to get my point across the way I wanted to. I mean, I was still. We had lyrics, but it was not so much of like these singer-songwriter style lyrics. It was more of just a part of the music or the vibe in general. So as I learned more, though, I mean, like my other band, Michael J and the Foxes, which is the songs that I played or am playing, we're
fourth wall.
The songs that you're about to play.
Songs I'm about to play. Yeah, the songs I'm about to play.
It's okay. We like to break the fourth wall. Like, come on. If anybody thinks that we're filming Tuesday and Thursday,
right?
We did. We recorded this earlier this Tuesday morning. We don't have day jobs,
so we already know what MikeyVibe is playing. We're gonna. And I did make a special request, and he granted it. So stick around for Thursday's episode. But this is neither here or there.
So we hook them, Mike.
Michael J and the Foxes.
Yeah, Michael J and the Foxes. So with Michael J and the Foxes, I feel like I learned a little bit more. Where Dear Vibes was not so 4 chords, we're much more free on our instrumentation and kind of the complexity. But with Michael J and the Foxes, I had to say, okay, I can play 3 chords in a song, but that's not the point of this band. This point is my songwriting and the lyrics and trying to touch somebody with emotionally through lyrics rather than instruments, So I feel like I've grown in that sense, but also have a pretty good understanding of, trying to be unique while still being catchy, rather than like, the mainstream stuff that is, a lot of it is just terrible.
And speaking of lyrics, like, I guess like all musicians pour themselves or the feelings out into their music, into their words. Is that the same? Because, at least I've only met you in person maybe like once or twice at best. And I doubt you even remember. I think you served me a beer once, and we're going to talk about your bar.
Right.
But other than that...
Wait, you guys shared a beer? Or...
No, he gave me a beer. Or not gave me, he sold me a beer.
Okay, come on. Hey, COVID, man. That's dangerous. So I was about to say
I think it was at the beginning of last year, before COVID.
Yeah, before then it's okay.
But way before.
I had it in December. It's all good.
I think it was around... No, it was in December of last... It doesn't matter. Whatever. The thing is, I want to ask, like, you seem... At least when I was trying to get to know you through Instagram and talking to you, text message, trying to make the appointment happen, you seem a little like a closed off or quiet or reserved, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Is obviously music how you escape and how you let people actually know what's going on with you, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Is there any truth in that? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just my assumption.
He probably just thought you were a dick, George, and that's why he didn't want to talk to you. I mean,
no, I mean, I think there's all the different ways. I mean, as a bartender, you try to be nice and polite to people. As a musician, I mean, I don't know. Anybody can come off a bunch of different ways to people, I guess. But I know that, yeah, I guess I never thought of myself as reserved, but I guess like I'm somewhat shy. I don't know. No, it's not cool to call yourself shy anymore. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I'm more quiet in person until I get to know somebody, and outside of that, musically, when I'm on stage, I'm somebody else altogether.
Yeah. No,
Well, that's what I was gonna get to. Like, maybe you're not. Like, again, I've only known you for a little bit. Oh, you know what?
there you go, bro. Loosen up, bro. Loosen up.
Let's stop being so reserved.
Hey, but Mike, believe it or not, no, I totally feel. I think I'm the same way. So with my friends or family, I'm very, I guess, extroverted. I can make jokes, but when I'm meeting someone new, I don't want to come across as an idiot. Even if I am an idiot, that's not the point, though. I don't want to come across as an idiot.
Yeah.
And so people expect me to act the same way. You know, they expect me to act like Worm in front of these new people that I just met, and it's like, dang, I don't even know them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And so I'm pretty reserved for the most part too when I'm meeting either new people or a group of new people. But then they try to push me to make all these jokes. It's like, damn, I don't feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Right,
and they always ask me, why are you so quiet? I'm like, because I am.
Yeah.
I'm not drunk. That's why. I'll loosen up.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's just as much as like trying to be respectful, but also like kind of protecting yourself or kind of like, you know, everybody, you don't know who they are sometimes, you know what I mean? Like,
you don't know how they're going to interpret things, if they're going to find something offensive or what's their background. Yeah. So you're still gauging that and trying to see where, you know, what kind of person they are.
Right.
So how does that translate to where when you're stepping out on stage with a crowd full of people where some may be your fans that they know you, they like your music, family who's there to support you versus people who are just there trying to say who the heck is MikeyVibe and what kind of name is Mikey? They're already prejudging, obviously.
Right.
And you got all kinds of people. How do you make that switch, and what is that feeling like?
Yeah. I think a part of that question too is like if I get nervous, you know what I mean? Because I don't really get nervous anymore when I play. I mean, as I've gotten older, I've gotten more confident in my performance and my music in general, my lyrics and what I'm presenting. So I feel like as long as I'm confident in that, then when I go on stage, I can kind of I don't worry about it when I'm on stage. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is the best of who I am as a writer and kind of like who I am as a person, maybe. So at that point, it doesn't matter what they think anymore. And most of the time that turns out really well if they understand like what I'm doing or saying, you know. I mean, I try to be very clever about my lyrics and appropriately like symbolic and metaphorical. I mean, sometimes I'm very straightforward. But I think, you know, if you listen, you more or less should be able to understand what I'm saying. And it's a very, most of the time it's a very blunt message, or it's a very balanced message of like, the whole spectrum of emotions, you know, and so being like that, I think it's something that anybody can relate to. So when I get on stage, I don't worry about what they think. I think this makes sense to me, and if it doesn't make sense to you and you have a problem with me, then that's fine.
No, it makes sense. I want to, if I can be real honest.
Sure.
Because after this, I'm gonna just lie the rest of the podcast. No. So I work with your mom, and that's how we have that connection. She invited me to a concert that you were having, and you know I respect the heck out of your mom. Like your mom is like top person in my life. She helps me out a lot at work.
Yeah.
So she asked me to come to this concert. I was like, of course. You know, you're asking me. You've done so much. Like I don't know what kind of music you play. I don't know how you sound. I still have to pay for a ticket. Okay.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, right. So I was like, okay. You know, what do you mean they're not serving alcohol at this place?
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm going there and already making my prejudgment of like, oh, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna pretend. You know, it's her son. I'm gonna be nice whether I like it or not.
Right.
I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I'm still trying to trying to get through this. Like, I hope this is good. Like, I really hope this is good.
Because there's no alcohol. Damn it.
Yeah, I know. So there's no like my sober thoughts are like, I could be drinking right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you come on stage and I could be remembering this wrong, but I think the first song you played was about a bank robbery,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of explained it, and I'm like, what? Listen to it. But then you start playing, and before you even sing, like, dude, this okay. The guitar's good. It's awesome. That guitar's awesome. And then boom, you start going, and almost instantly, I was a fan. I was like, this guy's good. This guy's
Thank
real
you.
good. So I'm sorry to this probably makes you feel uncomfortable, but I was like, that's not good. And for the rest,
yeah. I mean,
keep it going. Yeah.
no, yeah. I mean, those are like that's kind of what I mean, though. Like the moments of just being very vulnerable in front of people, but fingers crossed and hoping that what I put out there is something that people can connect to. Whether it's through the music or through the lyrics or whatever. I mean, that's the best we can hope for, and it's better that we start off from that honest. You're going to be nice, no matter. You're going to be polite, no matter what, because that's what a lot of people, I mean, do in positions like that. You know what I mean? But then, the more comfortable you get, the more it makes sense to, I don't know, that transition of that story was very good because it's a way a lot of people feel a lot of times, so it just happens to have a happy ending and I don't suck, you know what I mean?
And do you think that helped you gain that confidence? Because I think sometimes you could tell the difference when someone's being polite and nice versus actual honesty. So when you play and someone's saying, no, man, you really are really good. And then maybe that helped you early on build that confidence. And now you could get on stage no matter what. Because, even if some people don't like it, you already know. I mean, there's still going to be a bunch of people that are going to like it.
Yeah. I think I've mostly focused on the positive parts of interacting with people and the good stuff. You know what I mean, I guess, the negative times or times when I've messed up or felt like I could have performed better, I've hold those moments to me more, to make sure that I come back and improve or try to, if I feel uncomfortable, I really make it a point to try to kick ass and like be like, like this is, I'm going to show them and show myself that this is how it is,
Now, and see, a lot of times with those mistakes, people don't even know you're making a mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, because I've done some. I mean, not probably at your scale, but I've done some performances here and there and stuff too. And
oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So a lot of time, like, I messed up, and then someone will be, I couldn't tell. You know what I mean? Like, all right, cool.
This is something Worm does. He tries to like, make you guys same as equals and say, I know what you're doing because
I know what you're going through, bro. I feel you. I've been in your shoes before.
we played in front of 3 people before, and
Hey, 7 people. 7 people.
Well, at least Worm knows how to play those 4 chords.
Hey, that's all that matters, bro. That's all that matters. Right?
Yeah.
Just that's it. That's all that matters. Boom. But anyway,
how do you go through the process of coming up to your songs? Like, I know we're talking about like expressing your feelings, but like that process of putting it down on paper and then putting music to it.
Most of the time for me, it happens both ways. At the same time, I'll think of like lyrics, but I'm also thinking of how I want them to sound. And I think that's also actually, I mean, I don't know, I'm not a teacher, but like to me, I mean, because music, who needs a music teacher in that sense? I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to learn and feel about it, is what I mean.
We just don't need teachers at all. Right?
I'll see you guys later.
But yeah, I usually write both at the same time. And I guess what I was getting at is that it helps me not feel like blocked, because sometimes you'll write something and whether it's good or not, you're like, well, how do I play to this? Or, some people get stuck on one or the other. And so I try to, if I'm going to think of words, I want to think of how I'm going to sing it right away. And that makes me help be able to find the chords and find the melody that I think suits best. So I kind of do it at the same time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely like a way to not feel like that writer's block that people feel. I don't know.
And if you do get the writer's block, how do you break out of it? Just a bottle of whiskey.
What kind of cannabis? No, what kind of cannabis do you use?
Like worms are, hey, blow some smoke, worm.
Shoot, I turned it off. Hold on. It's heating up. It's heating up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of, like writer's block in general, or just like how we were saying, like the 4 chords can be a mainstream thing, or it can be like everything if you know how to use them. You can, as long as you're feeling it and if you're presenting it, then it comes off as positive as you can make it, at least, as far as feeling good while making music. But there's like this book called Zen Guitar, and I read it years ago, and it's a short book, but it's kind of just like the one thing I remember about it is like if you only know one note on one chord of the guitar or like whatever it is, then you play that guitar like you're a rock god. You know what I mean? Like you play that one note like it's everything, and you figure out a way to make it your song. And so that kind of just made me feel like everybody has their own song, or in general, like their style or their what they think of when they think of music. Everybody has that. They just got to kind of like find it. And I know that kind of goes to like writer's block too. People, if you're I know a lot of writers or singer-songwriter musicians and stuff. And I don't know. I just think it's very easy to get caught up in like what you should be doing instead of just, I don't want to say just doing it, but it kind of instead of just doing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, man. A lot of people don't believe me. And I know it sounds like a joke, but if someone does want to learn the guitar, I have a 2-minute lesson, man. And once you learn like this basic thing I show them, from there, it's like limitless. All it depends is really your creativity. All I show them is how to do a power chord, right?
Yeah.
and really, I mean, because with the power chord, you could go through so many different frets throughout the whole guitar.
Yeah.
And granted, it's just the E and A string, and then you could just go back and forth and all that. And all it really depends is your creativity. You know what I mean? And so I have a 2-minute lesson. So.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, that's like, as punk rock as you get, like.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
Yeah. That's
as I started learning, I started noticing, hey, that's all they're doing. They're just using power chords. Like when you don't know, well, at least like for a guitar, like if you don't know how to play guitar or anything, it seems really impressive. But then when you start learning and then you start seeing what other people are doing, or even mainstream bands, you start realizing, oh, that's really easy. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But
I think for me, I could never get the strumming. I was like, do I do it now? Or some people go down, down, up, down, down, up. I was like,
well, that's the thing. Actually, it depends on the player, because it could be the same rhythm and each player may do it differently, though. So just whatever you feel comfortable with. Yeah.
I learned from Guitar Hero, and it was just down, 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 down.
Oh, that's good. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say I cannot play guitar. I mean, Guitar Hero at all. Like, I'm just terrible at it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Guitar Hero.
Funny, it's simpler, right? It's just 5 different buttons. It's like, what the? But you have 6 strings. You have all these different chords. You could do that, but you can't do the 6 buttons. Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, I spent a lot of money because of Guitar Hero, because I paid the Guitar Hero, bought the guitar, and then I thought I was cool enough because I was good at Guitar Hero that I bought a guitar.
Hey, that reminds me of South Park. I don't know if you guys saw that episode where they're all into Guitar Hero, and then they're even like airplaying Guitar Hero. And I forgot, I think the character's name is Stan. His dad bust out with a real electric guitar. Let me show you kids real Guitar Hero. And they're like, boring. They want to...
Dude, I even took lessons. And which I had to pay for, and still couldn't.
Bro, Mike, you see, bro, I would have given George my 2-minute lesson if you want to. You didn't believe me. You know?
Hey, we were friends at the time. What happened? You knew I had a guitar sitting in the corner just collecting.
You never believe me, bro. You just think I'm a drunk.
No, you kept saying, look it up on YouTube.
No. I offered my 2-minute lesson. Oh, well. But it's all right. Anyway, George, what? You took lessons and stuff?
No, that's it. That's it. I took lessons, didn't work out. I ended up selling the guitar. Like I said, I made maybe like a $25 profit on it. Not bad. So
Not bad.
I'm
Mike,
better at selling things than playing them.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Hey, Mike, and I don't think you've mentioned this. Granted, I've been drinking, right? Or where were you born and raised? I'm assuming San Antonio, but
yes, here.
Raised San Antonio. Or
Yeah.
well, when was the first time you picked up any instrument? How old were you?
I don't know. I mean, I had to have been younger than 10, but I feel like when I started playing seriously, well, I don't know. I say seriously. I was in a band when I was in high school. So if there's like a, because anybody can be like, I played guitar when I was 4 years old because somebody put a guitar in my hand, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, probably like 15, 16 years old is when I was in a band that like was starting to play it, but we were terrible. I mean, I don't even count that time of being a musician, I don't think it.
Well, what did you play though? What did you play in the band?
Guitar, yeah. And I sang too, but me and my friend that were in the band at that time, we just went back and forth on who was singing because I was like, I'm terrible. And he was, and so he'd let me try, or I would let him try, and then he would sing and he'd be like, he's terrible. And then we just go back and forth. It was just like we didn't really have a drummer at the time. And then when we did get a drummer, we're just a terrible band, like it was just like,
hey, it's a beginning.
Yeah. I have to like, I have to feel good that I can say I was terrible, because now when I'm like, I'm not so terrible, I can make it seems more legitimate than me thinking I've just been great this whole time. What I mean? Not that I'm saying I think I'm great now, but
You're pretty good though. You're pretty good. What other instruments do you know besides guitar though?
I play piano in MikeyVibes a little bit, but usually I don't know. I just use it more for writing. And then once I kind of like figure some stuff out, then I'll get somebody else to come and like make it better, make the idea on the piano better, because I can't actually like do all of it sometimes. And then so we kind of just work it as far as like composing the structure of the song.
Did you ever like in high school that you joined the actual band, like the high school band, or
marching band?
I was.
That's for nerds, George.
No. I played tuba.
I was in the drum line, so screw it.
I played tuba when I was in 8th grade. I think it was 8th grade, or maybe it was 9th. I can't remember. Like going the first year into high school. I can't remember. No, yeah, it was the first year into high school, I think, because I told myself what could make the rest of my high school really great. Play tuba.
Hey, tuba's cool.
That year was the only time I've ever like learned music and like
how to read it and all that.
How to read it and do that stuff. I was a relatively good decent tuba player, but that wasn't cool at the time. I was like, I remember, and I just remember all of these moments of like thinking, when am I ever going to use this? And then like my sister played clarinet or something, and I was like, that's lame. And now I'm here in a band full of like 10 people at least with all of these instruments. And I'm like, had I just kind of like had that, who would have known? But like now I'm like writing a song where I want a fucking clarinet in it. I'm literally at this moment, I have a song. Yeah. And I'm just like, man, like what are the odds of that? Like I should have just embraced it all, but yeah.
But do you have a tuba player?
Not at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. MikeyVibes has had a tuba player before this.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't remember like the tuba players in my high school band being like the cool band guys. Like obviously you have your drummers and all that, but and I also don't know what other sound tubas make than other than.
They're the bass, bro. They're the heart.
Yeah.
Music,
anytime I think of the
culo.
tuba,
Call him a culo, Mike. Culo.
Anytime I think of the tuba, I think of like Family Guy when there's that person or whatever following somebody else around with the tuba, and it's like just all like womp womp womp, like that sort of thing. But yeah, my cousins played tuba and baritone and geovibes at a time, and we've had just a whole little orchestra with us sometimes.
Man, that's awesome. Shoot.
Yeah, so I've appreciated it all, I guess, at this point, But when I was joining band at that time in school, I didn't know like the differences between a trumpet or a trombone or a French horn or a tuba and all this. And all they do, the band directors come up and they're like, "What mouthpiece is comfortable for you?" And you don't think about the way it works. And I was like a little chubby 8th grade, 9th grade kid or whatever. And so I don't know. To me, they trick you. They're like, "Oh, this bigger one must feel better because it's bigger, so you can be all, And you're like, that makes sense. Sure, I'll take the bigger one. And then they're like, "Tuba," and I'm like, "You son of a bitch, you tricked me." And then like when they put it all together, you start looking around the room, and it's like, so the skinny kids are playing trumpet. The not so skinny kids are playing trombone, and the chubby kids are playing tuba. Like, and I was like, they did it on purpose. They did it on purpose.
Wow.
I'm glad you said that because I wanted to say that earlier, but I'm a little chubs. I don't want to oust myself, but that's exactly what I noticed in my high school band. I was like, and that's why maybe the tuba players weren't the cool guys.
Yeah, I mean they should switch it. They should switch it around, like if all like the chubby players like played trumpet and like joined the jazz band and they were like being all sexy with the music, that would make them like so much more cool, so much quicker, And then like what do the skinny kids need it for if they're playing tuba? Like they still look good, you know what I mean? Like,
and also, this is when you were explaining like them like sizing mouthpieces. I'm just in my head, I was picturing they're just lining all of you up and going, "How does that feel? How does that feel?"
Yeah, that's a COVID warning right there. Now.
I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Since we're talking about high school, one thing we always ask people from San Antonio: What high school did you go to? All right, 2H2Fers, I think this is where we're going to pause the conversation for part 1. Remember, part 2 comes out Thursday. We're still hanging out with Michael Carrillo, a.k.a. MikeyVibe. Follow him. His music. We're going to be ending the podcast a little different this time around.
That's right. I'm going to be singing us out. Oh, is it not me? Oh.
No. Michael Carrillo, a.k.a. MikeyVibe, is going to play us out. So, hey, but with that said, Worm, what are you going to say?
Mike, let me join your band.
Anytime.
I'm drunk. All right, anytime, bro. You said anytime.
Anytime.
Right.
As long as you play that one chord.
That's one chord. Hey, bro, that's the only chord I know.
And with that said, Mikey, do your thing.
All right, thanks, guys. It's been a year or more since the sky was blue. A year or more since I've seen the moon. There ain't no shooting stars to make wishes come true. Well, it's been a year or more and I'm still in love with you. It's been a year or more since the train tracks ran. A year or more than I can't stand. I don't know where she went. Hell, I don't know where I am. But it's been a year or more since she called me her man. been a year or more since I sang my song. I'm tired now, well, the track's too long. Don't know where she went or how we went wrong. It's been a year or more and I don't know where I belong. 'Cause it's been a year or more since the sky was blue. A year or more since I'd seen the moon. Ain't no shooting stars to make wishes come true. Well, it's been a year or more and I'm still in love with you. Thanks, guys.
Man, bro. Awesome, bro.
That was
Thank you.
badass. I like
That was
that.
better than what I was gonna play. I just know one chord. That's all I did.
All right.
All right, thank you guys.
No problem, man. That was good. That was good.
Está loco.